Always free thinking. Corey, inside my guard, buddy.
ChatGPT this.
Okay, nice and easy. 2 on 1 cross grip. Okay, 2 on 1 cross grip. Hip up, we call this snake bite, right? So we're going to go from here. I'm going to lift, roll my hip. I'm going to snake bite from nice and tight. So I've got a cross and an over grip from here. Okay. First motion is Corey will normally try to pull the arm backwards and try and get posture. So what I'm doing is to make this a little bit better for me so that my structure is better than his structure is when I'm here, when I roll it, I'll push it down deep. Come under and onto the back. So this is a really nice way to get to the back and to get the choke. Like it's possibly one of the most underrated ways I've seen to get the back from here. So they normally have like the hand on the stomach and hand on the hip from here, 2 on 1. And the part that I see people do is they try and push the arm over. You can't do that, specifically if they've got good frames. So I raise my hips and I turn my hips. And this is the key, right? So I'm going to push the hand under and pull my legs forward. So it goes to here. This is a choke that I've been playing around with. I don't go to the back choke from here. I go to palm grip. And the thing about this way is right now there's a fair bit of space around the neck. So what I'm doing is I'll fold my hand behind Corey's neck to put the choke on. A lot of people, they try and force the arm through to get this. It has too much play time and sometimes it gets in the way, etc. So I'll find that and I'm trying to put my hand, like that's already half choking just by itself. And I'll put my elbow over the back and I'll crunch on the shoulder, so it's a shoulder crunch. So if Corey does try, like I'm going to say, tries to roll or to push it off, whatever like that, it's pretty much locked into position. And I'm not on the back. Like I'm kind of using that shoulder wedged under my armpit to lock you into position. This is kind of my new favourite back choke. I'm not actually, I don't do rear naked chokes much. I'm doing this kind of style of choking. It was one that I used in Japan in the ultra heavyweight as well so because I couldn't get around the guy's neck. His neck was too big and broad, so I ended up just catching it and clinching it up, and so it's a bit of fun. So the concept is the 2 on 1, raise my hips, turn my hips, punch it down. Now this is let go, and this is a really awkward mechanic because you want to actually go that way. Right, the downfall is Corey can put this hand over my arm and I'll lose the choke, right? So if it's this way, he can put the hand down on that hand. It's easy, I'll just pull my legs forward. Okay, cup the back of the head, palms comes to palm. And instead of the normal choke, I bring my head to my hands. I don't try and take my hands to my head. I bring my head to my hands, so I'm crushing the shoulder in against the body and slow squeeze. It's a really, quite a fast choke. Their main concern for the first play is to get out of back control. So they normally put their hands on the ground to move, which gives me the choke mechanic. Steve, I'll grab you please. How'd that feel good?
Yeah, that's good.
So inside the full guard. And once again is, they normally have the one hand on the hip, one hand high, so I'm always going to take the high hand, 2 on 1. So raise my hips, 2 hands, shove it under, right? And I can go this way, but the chance of him grabbing this hand is I can't complete the choke. So it's an awkward mechanic, and this is why it's kind of harder to do because you want to go the other way. Hip up here, and I'm going that way. So I'm almost like arm barring myself, and I can lock it in, pull my hand out. So it's on the back of the head. Now his armpit or elbow stuck under my armpit, so it's harder for him to move. Cup. Now all I'm doing is I'm pulling my hands through the neckline. I'm not pulling through the shoulders. So if I pull through the shoulders, it's not much of a choke. If I change it to the neckline, it changes it immensely. So here, small head over and just squeeze. I don't do anything else with my legs. I just keep this here because it's quite a hard position for them to roll out of. Okay, is everyone okay to practice that? Okay, 1, 2, 3. How that feel? Just everyone, this is a small detail, and I kind of skipped over it, but it is pretty important from here. So the 2 on 1, what I want to do is I want to shove this down as deep as I can. All right, so what I'm seeing is everyone's doing great. Like we're here, Bob, and we're here. The neckline's too far. So what I'm doing from here is I hold, pull my legs forward, so he comes to me. Right, so it's the same breakdown that we did in the class, the same concept is, but I shove the arm down further and then way up, there's pretty much on the choke line. Right, so I'll go slow motion again. So here, so hip bump, turn my hips, shove it under, pull my leg forward, and I can use this hand now because of the grip. If I don't, I just shove forward, palm to palm, and once again, it's what people see, they pull this way. I want to cut through the net. I don't want to pull this way because I'm creating space and he can hand fight, where once I pull it down the back line, so if crew goes to hand fight, it's so far behind the back, it's really hard to get to. Where if it's here, there's a little bit of chance for him to hand fight. So I'm over. Secondly, is I do like to close my legs and I like to try and get in as deep as I can. And what this will do is, if my partner, for some miraculous reason, drives forward and gets their head free from here, I still have the abilities to start to sweep and to attack. So I'm still in a really good position to do something. I'm not like, oh, he's got out of the choke and back in my guard again. I've come so far offside. I've got like the flower sweep and things like that as well. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put my hand in nice and deep and push the hand up. Here. Now, this is the hardest part about the entire move. Push the hand down, regrip, and start to get your choke. Hip escape. Start to get your choke. That's a really deceptive choke. Pull the arm. And the part that I see people do is they misunderstand. Get my hand on top of the wrist so I can push it down. Once it's on the ground, I pull my elbow, like my left elbow, like a seated row, start to hip escape. It's my language. So this is, and it's a kind of a way that people, so I'm going to go to the collar choke. And one of the ways to get rid of the collar choke is you bring your hand over the top to push the elbow down, so elbow comes down and kill it. Right. So there's that way. But what I find is if my partner's got the hand forward and the hand under, what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to do a small escape and put my hand in nice and deep and push the hand up. Here. Now this is the hardest part about the entire move. Push the hand down, regrip, and start to get your choke. Hip escape, and start to get your choke. That's a really deceptive choke. Yeah, and you get to this position a lot. Now, question is, I can't quite get the choke. Let go and just go straight to the move we've just done because we're in pretty much the same kind of position, right? So for me, it was when the hand's up from here, this is the hardest place. I go hip bump, my hand goes under. Now, if I can't get the hand under, I simply go back to the first one. So what I was playing around with is I was going here and they'll bring the elbow over the top to smash, to get rid of the choke. But grab hold. Now, push this down as far as you can first. Hip escape. Now, my elbow that's under, I'm pulling my elbow towards my hips like a seated row. So I pull my elbow, I just keep moving back. Deceptive, hey?
Yeah, it is.
And because you're kind of pinned and your arms pinned, one of the ways that people try and jump, they try and jump it, but if you keep the leg high, they can't jump the guard either. It's a really interesting choke. Steve, grab your please. So the hard part is actually set up the initiation of the choke. And what I found was I'll go here and people will try and, like, even if they hold it, like that's exactly, I can do it from here as well. So cross grip, this is a hard thing, hip bump, pull the arm. And the part that I see people do is they misunderstand. Get my hand on top of the wrist so I can push it down. Once it's on the ground, I pull my elbow, like my left elbow, like a seated row, start to hip escape. And it's kind of one of those ones that, when I've done this to a few people, they're like, I don't want to tap to it. I don't know if he knows he's choking me or not. It's that I don't know whether they're aware they're choking me. It's just really bizarre. So if I get to a stage where I kind of go over, hand comes over the top to defend it, hand, hip bump, pull it forwards, shove it down, seated row. So push, seated row. Just like, man, this guy's tough, but pull your hand out, grab, and we're back in the same, like we're in exactly the same position as the other choke before. There are sweeps from here, but the focus, I just want to kind of get the focus on the choke. So can you just turn that camera just towards me a fraction more? Thank you. Okay, so hand goes over. Okay, here, don't pull it because you can't pull it through. Hip bump, turn your body. Now make sure my hand's on top of the wrist. Push it down. Okay, hip escape 1, seated row, keep on pushing down. Tap, pull, choke two. Okay, change partners, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. How'd that feel?
Good, it's almost like you're trying to
Choke
make space for
So let me explain. This was when I first started doing this choke. It actually wasn't the choke; it was the flower sweep. Right. So what would happen? I'd get this, and my partner would start to hand fight, and I'm having like that. And so I'd go hip up, and I'd come under, and I'd actually start the flower sweep or the armbar. So that was the concept, because you know we're creating space. So what was happening was I'd go here and I couldn't move their hand because they're like their crew. I'm just like, fuck. Let go and wait for him to, okay, your turn, okay. So instead of me fighting this, I'd kind of go, ha, I'll go the collar. And they'd go, oh, it's a choke. So now they'd move their hand. So I'd now go, okay, I'm in the position to play the game. So once again, this got really hard for me to move because you know it's crew, right? So I'm trying. So what I found instead was, if I try and pull the arm, this is hard. But if I raise my elbow, it shuts him. So instead of me trying to like push the hand over, I'd go to shut my elbow. But I need my whole body to shut the elbow. Now I push it under. Right. Now I cup here and start to squeeze. So I've got the ability to cup. So to cup as well. The downfall about the cup is I'll lose my choke and they can access my arm, etc. So what I found instead was I'd keep hold of this hand. Can I get you to walk around that way just a little bit? Just walk your legs. Okay. So I keep hold of this in. What I'm trying to do is, instead of putting it here, I'm trying to put it under my leg. So I try and go under my leg. So now I've got this ability to start to sweep my partner if I miss it. And the arm bar's pretty much on as well. So to tip the shoulders, to get a bit more of the shoulder pressure, I found to push it underneath my leg and then pull the hand out. Then I've got the flower sweep set up and the arm bar as well. So instead of pushing it out, can I grab you please, babe? Is it okay on your shoulders or not?
I'll try.
Okay, thank you, Fred. So it would be here, and I'm trying to get the flower sweep, so I'm trying to come under to get, and like Emma's got strong, and I can't get, so I'd kind of go, I'll change the game here, to defend the choke. Okay, once again, instead of trying to pull the arm, I turn my hips, I raise my elbow, so that is looser, and I pull it through. Now, what I see people is I put it to the outside knee. They can actually step onto my hand and grip break from here.
Yeah,
like,
just use this one.
yes, right, okay, so like, it's not the best thing in the world. So what I started to do instead was I raise my hips, I'm going to go so, and I push this under my hip. Right, now, okay, I can't sweep them, but this is a perfect opportunity to switch it to the back. So I have the first choke, I have the flower sweep, which is, we're not going to do that, we're actually going to do that tomorrow. And then we have the catch choke as well. Absolute worst case, so let me just play the game. So here, hand goes over the top, shove it through, so elbow goes high, shove it through underneath, boom. And like, let's just say that Emma's like I can't, there's too much space to shove, so not enough space to shove it through. Okay, so what I do is I start to hip escape away. So watch what I start to hip escape away to wind the choke on. Just, yeah, and, oh, sorry. And they still can't move. Now, crew mentioned this, and now I've got the space, I can put my shin on the back and now lock it up with my
That's
shin.
my only thing I can think of is head over heels.
Yeah,
to
so
get
that's
up there.
this,
Ow,
so,
jeez.
What do you do?
don't do it hard, okay? There's no need to do it hard, guys.
The sharp boy ties and shoes.
Yeah. The weirdest thing, I've had people try and ankle lock this foot.
Hi, I'm nowhere near it.
It's just when I'm like,
There's nothing left.
So, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've had people try and push the leg down, like, okay, well,
Triangle.
yeah, like, it's just the most silly. Sorry, it's not silly. Experiment, have fun. Okay, guys.
You're choking. Can you go the other way?
You can. Let me explain, Steve. I'll go with you just so you can see. There's what I call like micro assets, and micro assets are at a higher level. They're the things that are either going to make or break the technique. right? And a lot of time is at a higher level, sometimes the matches seem boring because it's a lot of grip fighting and hand positioning, and sometimes they're very dynamic. But for me, anytime that I'm going, by default my elbow's high, right, I'll find this really hard to choke someone elbow high because my elbows, so for me to get the hand over, this is quite a difficult mechanic, where if it's here, I'm pulling them in. I use this grip. If I'm going this grip, it's normally a push so I can come under. If I'm going this grip, it's normally a pull so I can come over. So you can, but I find at a higher level, they're just gonna push my, yes. So wherever it's low, they're gonna go, I'll pull it down, so I get the grip mechanic, roll my hip from here, shove it all the way under. Now if I'm having trouble because he's got his arm or his knee here, I've got my grip cane. So hip escape, and I should still be able to get the choke, let it go, choke from here if I have to. Worst comes to worst, grab my partner and I can switch it onto the back of the flower suit. I've got a lot of options from here. Okay, let's have a little bit of a play around. I'm going to put the timer on for about 5 minutes. Just one for one, have a little bit of a play around. So grab a new partner, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, not just off.
Yeah, no, I was doing that.
Got my guard again, please. And this was kind of all the rage maybe about 10 years ago. A lot of people were playing this from the full guard kind of thing. So what they're doing, they're going the 2-on-1. And instead of trying to punch the arm from here, what they do is to go raise it and pull, and then put the hand over the head from here. So the arm's caught and get the choke. So because I'm pushing you, you have to post, and because the hand's behind the head, you don't have the ability to stop the hand going in. So it's more here, grip break, and it's over. Right. So you can inside the collar as well. Right. And now, small hip, keep it. Hip escape. Here's your arm bar. Let go. Shoot. Here's your choke. So this is a really good, I'll just move back a little bit from here. Okay, so we'll do the second one first because this is a bit more of a higher percentage attack. So what it is I'm trying to grip break, raise my hips, pull, shoot my arm over. Right, now keep it, hip escape, 4 fingers in. Because I've got the arm, if Corey pulls his arm backwards, it's locked in, okay? So, feet on hips, squeeze, that's your arm bar. Let it go, but keep the tension. Come in, get your grips first, shoot it closed, and squeeze for your choke. Really interesting kind of entry. It was I think a couple of girls at the Worlds last year were
Pans, I think it was.
Using this and not high success, super high success. It's just something that once the arm's over, your arm's fully exposed and you're off balance, and there's sweeps and things like that as well. So it's quite an interesting move. Jen?
You can't get stacked or anything with.
No, because my feet are on the hips. So, question: can you get stacked? Yeah, obviously you can, but so here, so kick the hips, boom, come over, right? So from here, feet in. So squeeze my knees, extend, cup, shoot, and finish the choke. So the hardest part is the initial grip break, which is here. Raise your hips, over. Yep. Make sure it's super tight from here. I like to hip escape and put my hand through first. How's that feel? So it is more like an arm bar already. Lock it in, here, and squeeze. So to me, it's a really high percentage, really, really effective move. And that kind of, they're in a no man's land because the arms are slightly off balance as well. Okay, let's have a quick shot that, guys. 1, 2, 3. Just so you can feel. Okay, so something is your body and hip position is really important for number one, for control and for the submission. So it's super important. So the 2-on-1, raise my hips, boom, uppercut, come through, feed the collar. Right, so everyone's here. What I'm seeing is that when people are hip escaping, their hip line's this way, so I can't get the pinch on the arm. Right, But if I start hip escape and I start to go belly down, it changes the whole dynamic, like I'm shucking the arm, and this will also give me the ability to shoot the triangle, like we've mentioned, right? So when you're here, right, to force them down even more, right, is start to turn your head and shoulders, and then my knee comes over, and I force with my knee on my elbow, so it locks it into position, right? And then get your grips first. As they come in, you should be able to get the choke set up. So what I simply do is when they move backwards, their shoulders and hips go this way. So I've loosened up the hole in it. Where if I kind of go, if I hip escape that way, it tightens the shoulder, so it rolls the arm where I need it to be instead. Look, you know, it's a really hard mechanic, but this is that, why do I get it sometimes, why don't I get it sometimes? And the whole principle behind the armbar is that I want to have pressure behind the elbow. That's the principle in the armbar. So if I'm here, there's no pressure behind the elbow. But if I start to, there's pressure behind the elbow. So it's just getting something, my hips, my arm, my knee behind the elbow to get the extension. Then if I don't get it, at least my hand, like it's already in the choke position because I'm down. So when I slide in, it's actually pretty good for the choke as well. Just do that a couple of times to change parts, a couple of times belly down. We'll call that quits. 1, 2, 3.
Did you want to go with someone else? Are you sure?
Sorry guys, I didn't realise how late it was. If you've got to go, you're happy to bounce it. Otherwise, we'll just finish this off.
Horse class.
Yeah, so here, throws, does the correct thing, hand comes over, goes over my arm inside the collar. So first thing that I do is, sorry, he's got a good grip. First thing I'm going to post, and what I'm doing is, as I switch my hips, it's not the hip switch, it pins his shoulders the opposite way. So he can't now get the pinch, and I'm on top of the shoulder. So you can't bring the leg over to do the armbar. I'm going to keep my head nice and low, so most people are going to go, I'll go to the choke. Once on the choke, switch my hips, beat the knee line. Now his hands commit, so I'll hold it into position so you can't undo it. Compress. I've got the guard pass, so that's, most people kind of go, I want to rescue my arm and my wrist, and they don't worry about the guard pass because that's more important. Okay, line up, 1, 2, 3.